Hello friends, a warm welcome from Aussie's group. My name is Malcolm and I'm your PTE coach. So today I'm back live again after the last week's live session. So friends, today's topic for the FP Live session is mainly the exam trends in PTE these days. Because obviously we've got many aspirants for PTE. On our group itself we've got almost 10,000 people. So definitely many of you might be thinking like, what is happening these days? And we try to keep ourselves updated regularly, like we've got like hundreds and hundreds of people, students who take the test. Many of our own students take the test every week and every day and every month obviously. So we've got a lot of insights on the test. Now, first thing is that like many times, generally in the month of March and April, a very common question which people think about is that, and unfortunately it's sort of a rumor which is most commonly asked, like, is PTE going to change? Now that is the most common question which comes across. There's a flood like situation. Everybody asks that question, like, is PTE going to change? Is PTE going to change? Is PTE going to change? So in my experience, the answer is no, PTE is not going to change. Since the time they have started taking the test is the same. Obviously new questions would be added, but nothing is going to change in the test. It's exactly the same thing. So don't worry at all. And the good news is, in fact, the best news for the day for all of you will be that due to the continuous and relentless efforts of our team, we are going to come out with the prediction file for the month of April today. Hopefully by today, we will be live with the prediction file for the month of April 2019. So just visit our group on Telegram, PTE Tutorials, and by today evening, you will get the prediction file posted over there. So thank you Bhavesh and team for making the prediction file live at a very early stage, because we believe that if we give the prediction file or make it live a few days in advance from the actual month, then it's going to be helpful, going to be more helpful for the students. So we'll post the link as well, and I'm sure Bhavesh will post the link of the live prediction file if he can, as soon as he can. Now coming to the exam these days, what has been happening in PTE, like I try to spend some time every day on our Telegram group, and very often I come across comments like these ones. I just came across one today as well on the group. Like today I got 4 questions in right from dictation. Now right from dictation, as you know, is the last task in the exam. In the listening module, it is the absolute last task. And just today I read at least 2 people who commented this same thing on the group, that I got 4 questions in right from dictation today. So now the thing is, guys, that in right from dictation it's never fixed. Minimum, ideally you should get 3 questions. That is generally the rule. At least 3 questions should come, and sometimes you also get 4. Now this thing is not new. I'm sure the person who, or the people who commented this in the group today, for them maybe it has happened for the first time that they got 4 questions in right from dictation. But as I'm saying, friends, like we are very old in this business of PT, and obviously I'm also since a very long time associated with PT. So it's pretty common actually, and the maximum number of questions you can get in right from dictation is 5 questions. So minimum is 3 generally, or 4 is what you should expect, or 5, even though rare, you can get in the real exam. So kindly expect 3, 4 or 5 questions in right from dictation. It is nothing new, and just go to the test with an open mindset. Alright, so Taj has a question. Hi Taj, good to see you over here. I have an exam on the 28th of this month. Any prediction file please? So Taj, thanks for joining in. I just started my session today by saying that the prediction file for the month of April will be live today itself. So as soon as it's live, it's going to be pinned on our Telegram group on the top of the PTE Tutorials group page on Telegram. You will see the prediction file will be uploaded. It's going to be a Google Drive link, so you can obviously download it to your phone as well. It's a PDF document. All right, so all the best. It's going to be live very soon. And as I was talking about dictations, definitely you should expect 3, 4 or 5 questions. Now the other thing, very important thing which I wanted to share today is about the fill in the blanks task in the listening module. Now I would not like to put it out as a trend, but the thing is that in listening, fill in the blanks. In some centers worldwide, as far as I know, in the last few months, the tab button to go to the next blank has not been working. So many students have told me that we pressed the tab button in the test, but I was not able to go to the next blank. Earlier you were able to go to the next blank, but now you can't, as per many students who gave me the feedback. So then, according to them, they need to use the mouse and they need to click in the actual blank and then type the answers. Now, just I think 3 days back, one of my students had his test at one of the centers in Melbourne, and he told me that he used the tab button and he was able to use the tab button actually. So what I'm trying to say is, like, it's not exactly, I cannot say it confirmed, but in many centers it does not work, because not one or two, but like a lot of people have told me that the tab button doesn't work. But few people told me last week, and as I said 3 days back, one of my students, he told me that it did work. So if it doesn't work, don't waste your time a lot and don't rely too much that it is going to work, because it might not work, as I'm saying. Now the other thing, very common thing, is the number of questions we get in the writing module. Now, as all of you know, in writing module there are only 2 tasks. The first task is summarize written text, and the second task is write essay. So in summarize written text, you need to write a summary of a single sentence, which should be between 5 to 75 words. And in the essay, you need to write an essay which should be between 200 to 300 words. Now, as many of you know, generally, the number of questions which come in the writing module are always between 3 and 4. Now, there are 3 possible combinations which can come in the writing module. The first combination is of 2 summaries plus 1 essay. So 2 summaries means you have to utilize the full time per question in writing. Even if you click next before the time ends, the remaining time is not added later. So if you're going to utilize the full time in 2 questions, that is going to be 20 minutes at least. And if you get plus 1 essay, per essay you get a total of 20 minutes. So that's going to be 20 plus 20, 40 minutes. So the first combination is 2 summaries plus 1 essay, and that's a total of 40 minutes. The second combination is that you can get 3 summaries plus 1 essay. So that's going to be 30 plus 20, 50 minutes. And the third combination, which makes the writing module very lengthy, is 2 summaries plus 2 essays. So that's a total of 4 questions, and the time is going to be 60 minutes. Now, many times when people get either the second or the third combination, they get a bit surprised in the test. I don't know why, but very clearly PTE has written that you can get any number of tasks, and the total time is going to be between 40 to 60 minutes. So sometimes these days I've seen that even when people get 3 total questions, that is 2 summaries plus 1 essay, they again ask me after the test that, Malcolm, is it okay if I got only 3 questions? So yeah, definitely it's okay. You don't need to worry. It's either 3 or 4 questions always. So don't be surprised. I mean, that's all you can get. Now, sometimes I also heard people saying that you got 5 questions in the writing module. And sometimes people say they got 3 summaries plus 2 essays. Now that should not happen, and that cannot happen, because that will make the writing module out of bounds. Out of bounds means more than 60 minutes. And as for the PTE guideline, it has to be maximum 60 minutes. Otherwise, it's very exhausting to finish the remaining part of the test. So it's never going to be more than that. So generally it's 2 plus 1 or 2 plus 2 or 3 plus 1. So kindly keep that in mind as well. Now coming to the first module, which is speaking. Now the first task in speaking is read aloud most of the times. And the second task after read aloud is repeat sentence. Now in read aloud, the number of questions which you're going to get are going to be somewhere between approximately 5 to 6 or 7 questions. And after that, immediately repeat sentence starts. Now in repeat sentence, the number of questions which you'll get will be approximately somewhere between 8 to 12. Most of the times it's somewhere between 8 to 12 questions. So approximately 5 to 6 questions or 7 questions in read aloud. And after that is going to be approximately 8 to 12 questions in repeat sentence. Now sometimes due to technical issues, what happens I've seen is that you get fewer questions in read aloud. By fewer, I mean only 2 or 3 questions. And similarly, due to technical issues, even in repeat sentence, you might get very few questions. By very few, I mean maybe only 4 questions or 3 questions. Now, if something like this happens, then you should not take it lightly, because it's much lesser than the prescribed number of questions in the PTE guideline. So at that time itself, for example, after the second read aloud, the third question is the first question of repeat sentence, the third question in the test. Then at that time itself, after you answer or after you repeat the first sentence, don't click next. Just wait for a second, raise your hand immediately and lodge a complaint to the supervisor that in Read Aloud, I got only 2 questions, and according to the PTE guideline, there should be at least 5 to 6 questions. So this is not in line, or this is not in line with the guideline, so I would like to lodge a complaint. So just have a verbal communication with the supervisor at that time, and if he tells you that right now it's okay, you can continue with the test, so then obviously you have no other option, you'll have to continue with the test. But after the test ends, just get up and again go back to the same person or any other supervisor and tell them that I want to lodge a complaint because I got only fewer questions in Read Aloud or repeat sentence, whichever task it is, and that's why I want to lodge a complaint. And definitely they will have to lodge a complaint, because sometimes such things do happen due to technical issues and we can't take such issues lightly, so just be a bit careful about that thing as well. Now, another thing which is pretty common in the reading module is that many times reading module will start with the drop-down blanks. The drop-down blanks are actually called the reading and writing blanks in the reading module. Now in this task, generally I've got a lot of questions, approximately 4 to 8 questions. But sometimes, because it's not fixed, reading can also start with some other tasks. So there's not any fixed pattern in reading. And that's why again people get a bit confused, because they always, I've seen many such comments in the group like, today my reading module started with blanks. It should have started with multiple choice questions. No, it's not like that. It can start with any task. It's not compulsory that it has to start with multiple choice or it has to start with reorder paragraphs. It can start with any task because it's not fixed as per the guideline. So just take the test with an open mindset, and that's going to make you more ready for the test. Well, Brinda has a question. What action will be taken by Pearson if I lodge a complaint? Very good question, Brinda. Thanks for asking. Well, if you lodge a complaint, the first thing you will receive before you leave the test center is a complaint number. It's called an incident number. Now, incident number means that is the proof of the complaint. So as soon as you leave the test center, what I would recommend you to do is to go to the Pearson website. You can just Google contact PTE, and the first website you will see is the Pearson PTE contact support page on the Pearson website. So over there, just go to that page and click on the live chat option. Now on the live chat, you'll have to enter your login details, I mean your Pearson ID and credentials. And immediately after that, you can just start by typing, "Hi, my name is Brinda. I just lodged a complaint at this test center today. My test was scheduled at this time." And then explain the whole problem to the person sitting on the other end of the server or the chat support, and just let them know what has happened. Now generally when you write everything, and obviously you should give your complaint number, the ID which you got from the test center, that this is the complaint and there's a problem. Generally the response they give you is like, please wait for 2 days and somebody will get back to you. So now the thing is, they will obviously investigate whether your complaint is a genuine complaint or it's just like that. And sometimes it takes even some more time. So if you're persuasive enough, I mean, if obviously, as I'm saying again and again, it has to be a genuine complaint. And if Pearson is convinced that it's a genuine complaint, chances are that you might be eligible for a free retest. But the thing is that obviously it should be a genuine complaint and there should be some problem on Pearson's end. And actually sometimes some problems do happen. Like sometimes the recording doesn't work correctly. There might be issue with the mic. Sometimes the pen stops working. There are lots of reasons. Sometimes people next to us could be very loud. So if you think that your test has been affected by a genuine issue, mainly because of some lack in the coordination or some problem in the atmosphere of the test, due to Pearson, then obviously you should lodge a complaint. As I'm saying, if Pearson is convinced that it's a genuine complaint, obviously it's a good company and they are genuine people, so they will offer you a free retest as well. So that's why we should lodge a complaint. All right, now you're saying that there's a comment you made. Because I have to travel 6 hours for the exam, I wanted to know whether any immediate action will be taken. No, no immediate action is taken. The only immediate action is that you will be given a complaint number, which is a proof of the complaint. And as soon as you leave the test center, as I said, you should go to the Pearson website and lodge the complaint again and just make them aware that this has happened. And I'm just reconfirming with you guys that this has actually happened. So I just want you to be careful, that's it. And if it's a genuine complaint, I will request for a free retest. But first, obviously, they'll do the due diligence and they'll check everything, whether everything was right, whether your complaint is valid or not. So that's how it works. Thank you. Well, Dr. Amanpreet is also saying, congratulations for the results of your students, sir. So Amanpreet, thank you so much. Yes, today was a beautiful day. It is a beautiful day actually. 5 of my students have got 8 each. And in the month of March, almost 40 students of mine have got 8 each, just from one center in Melbourne CBD. So for 22 days and 40 students, that's approximately 2 students a day. So hopefully till March end, I hope I hit a half century of students getting 8 each, and then obviously I'll be very happy. So thank you very much. Thank you. Well, Tat Sidhu, you have commented that March predictions will work. So yeah, definitely it's going to work. And as I said, we're going to come up with a prediction file for the month of April as well. And it's going to be live today itself. And our team in India is working on it. And it will be live 100% by today. So just be a bit patient, and it's going to be live very soon. And friends, if you have any other questions, if you have any other queries regarding PTE, feel free to post it over here. And I'll try my best to answer it as well. Now, the other thing where people generally are struggling these days, recently, is the task which is called Retell Lecture. Now, I've seen that Retell Lecture, people don't take it seriously. And even if people take it seriously, they don't perform accurately in that task. I mean, they speak too fast or they speak too slow. And because of that, sometimes the score of listening goes down. And obviously, if you don't have enough content, then it's a problem for listening. Even if you have a lot of content and if you're speaking too fast without pauses, it's a bigger problem. So that is what happens in Retell Lecture. So kindly give Retell Lecture some importance, guys. It's not to be taken lightly. Like if you get 3 or 4 questions in Retell Lecture, then obviously it's a very important task. It's a high weight task, and it's going to decide your score in listening. So try not to be too slow and try not to be too fast in Retell Lecture. Now, another thing which I've seen is that when people speak too fast in describe image, that is one more problem, and because of that as well, the score of speaking goes down. Remember, even if you're too fast, oral fluency can still be 90, but the actual thing which goes down is your speaking score. So try to be a bit careful about that also. Now, Brinda again has a question that I have a doubt. Sometimes in Retell Lecture or summarized spoken text, I cannot understand the name of the person, scientist or some celebrity, whom the lecture is about. How can I manage in such a situation? I do not mention the name. Will it affect my content score? So obviously in speaking, you can still try to mimic the name, Brenda, because speaking means you're just speaking, there are no spelling involved. But yeah, in writing, that is in summarized spoken text, if you don't get the name, it will impact your score. Definitely it's going to impact. For example, let's say there's a question about some person named Hamish Wilson. Now, let's say the name Hamish Wilson comes 5 to 6 times in the audio, or let's say 3 to 4 times, then obviously it's important. So ideally, his name, Hamish Wilson, should be in the answer. But if you don't write it, then obviously, yes, some point in content, 1 point maybe, will go down. But always remember, it's better not to make a mistake rather than writing a wrong spelling. So even though it's a proper noun, still I would highly recommend that if you're not sure about the spelling, kindly don't write it. Just write in general, the scientist or the celebrity, something like that. So generally that's the best way to deal with summarized spoken text. When Retell Lecture, there's no problem at all. You can definitely try to mimic the sound or try to mimic the name of the speaker or the name of any person in the audio, because that's obviously content, and content definitely goes up if you include the names of people or places or whatever. Proper nouns are important, so try to include them in your answer. Definitely that will help you in your score. I hope I answered your question. Thank you. Well, those of you who are not aware of the Telegram group we have a group on the Telegram app. It's called PTE Tutorials, and there are more than 10,000 members, so kindly feel free to be a part of it, and it's very helpful and it's going to be very productive in your journey towards getting your 8 each score in PTE. Well, the other thing I would also like to say is there are certain tasks in the listening module, and recently I came across one such thing, and the task is highlight correct summary. Now, many people recently might have seen a video somewhere which said that the weight of summarize highlight correct summary has gone up a lot. So there's nothing like that, guys. It's still the same. Highlight correct summary, as per the PTE guideline, it is one of the tasks in the listening module. You get approximately 2 or 3 questions. You will hear an audio and you always have 4 options, out of which only 1 is correct. You have to select the best summary of the audio which is played. Now for the right answer you get 1 point. For the wrong answer you get 0, that's it. And for the right answer, you get 1 in listening and reading both. And for the wrong answer, you get 0 in listening and reading both. So even if you get like 3 questions, it's still a slightly low weight task. You don't need to worry too much about it, because at the end of the day, it's just a multiple choice, choose single answer type of question, because only one answer is correct. You get only 1 point if your answer is right. So please try not to worry too much about a lot of rumors, because the field is full of rumors. A lot of things people say, PT is going to change, PT is going to do that, do this. So when PT does it, it's anyway going to do it. It's not going to wait for me and you to, respond to it. It's going to do what it's about to do. So the best thing we should do is stop over analyzing everything. Stop believing everything what people have to say about, because generally these days, as you know, everybody has an opinion on everything, and it's not true, and it's not necessary that everybody might be correct. So try to stay away from such things and only follow one thing, and that's the PTE score guide. If you just Google PTE score guide, you will see that version 9 of the score guide has been updated or uploaded in the month of March 2018. So that's been 1 year from now, and it's still the same guideline which PT follows. So even I follow the same guideline, and that's why I think many of my students get a very high score, because I don't make up my own theories. I just follow the guideline, and that's what I tell to the students as well. So try to follow that. That's it. Now, Kala Selvi has a question for read aloud. Shall I check my pronunciation in speech to text or speech texter or any such software? Answer to your question is no, you should not check, because the thing is, all these apps and softwares use artificial intelligence or a part of lexical syntactical analysis, LSA. Now the thing with all these softwares is that they are a bit intelligent softwares, and that's why it's called artificial intelligence, so as to say. And once they understand your speech and once they understand your accent, they are pretty quick in picking up the way you're going to speak the next words also, which means even if you make a mistake, it might auto-correct your mistakes. And then if an app or a software is going to auto-correct your mistakes, then obviously you won't get an accurate representation of the score, which means it doesn't help, honestly speaking. So my suggestion is, like, sometimes you can, like for tasks like describe image, it's okay if you take help of that text to speech application or something like that. Otherwise, it's not recommended, because in tasks like read aloud, repeat sentence, and retell lecture, I would suggest don't use such applications. For describe image, it's still alright. Well, Sonia Sabir is writing, hi sir. So hi Sonia, good to see you after a long time. Hope your trip to your home was good, and really miss students like you in the class, always smiling, and obviously you got A teach pretty soon once you join. So thanks for just mentioning me over here. Hi. And yes, Veerpal Chima has a question. What about the pitch issue, sir, in speaking section? So Veerpal, I saw your scorecard on Telegram. Now the issue is that you've got 83 or something like that in fluency, and your pronunciation score is very low, it's 38. And that's why your speaking score is also very low. Now the thing is that you'll have to work a bit on your fluency, because if you're not fluent, the score in speaking goes down. If the score in speaking is not high, the score in reading and listening also won't be that high. So try just to focus mainly to speak at a normal speed, not too slow, not too fast. Don't take unnecessary pauses. Just take pauses where they are required to be taken. And the third thing is, don't stress on words at all. Try to speak in a very stress-free way. Keep your voice very steady. I mean, intonation is not required in many tasks in speaking. Only in certain tasks, intonation helps the score. In the other tasks, it actually is a deterrent in getting a good score. So keep your voice very steady and don't be too loud or too soft. Just speak normally and naturally. Well, Salman has a question. Hi sir, I missed my exam by 1 mark 3 times in reading and 1 time in listening. What to do, sir, and how to manage in RA? Now Salman, unless I hear you speak, it's very difficult for me to comment. Now if you're missing by just one point, the issue could be anywhere. It could be in speaking, it could also be in the actual reading module, it could also be in the actual listening module. And I mean, since you're so close and unfortunately 4 times you've taken the test where you missed your score by just 1 point, I would recommend you to focus more on the actual reading and listening modules. So just focus mainly on the low weight tasks as well, like multiple choice questions, highlight correct summary, select missing word, multiple choice, multiple answers, multiple choice, choose single answers, because you know every point matters. So you never know, because it's a software, it's going to round up those points even after the decimals. So you never know, if you're a bit lucky, your score might come down or come up, but hopefully it's going to come up by 1 point which you're looking for. So in read aloud, try to keep your voice steady, don't stress too much on the words, and take the right pauses. Never take extra pauses, and always take the right pauses in every task in speaking, otherwise the score goes down. Same thing in repeat sentence, intonation is very important, so try to copy as much as you can in repeat sentence. In describe, image and retell lecture also, don't be too fast or too slow, that's all I'd suggest. And also focus on answer short question, don't take it lightly, it's the last task in speaking which impacts listening heavily. So if you're going to get 79% listening, you got to make it sure that answer short questions goes well, otherwise you cannot get a good score. Well, Dinuka has a question, is intonation required only in repeat sentence? Yes, according to me, it's required only in repeat sentence. In the other tasks, intonation is not required. I hope I answered your question to the point. Thank you. Well, Kalai Selvi has another question. How can we check our pronunciation or oral fluency with our own while practicing for speaking section? Well, very difficult to answer your question, Kalai Selvi, because I don't know how to check it on your own. The best thing is, if you want, you can be your own judge, and you can just record your speaking and listen to it again and again, and try to compare it with how native speakers speak. By native speakers, I mean Australian, American, British and Canadian speakers are called native speakers of English. So just try to hear them out, like how fluently they speak. Do they speak in chunks? Do they use a lot of intonation? So just try to listen to that, and hopefully you can improve. I understand why you're asking it, because I read your previous question, like should you use speech to text? And according to me, as I said, no. So obviously you will have this question in your mind. So best is you can just use the help of PTE Tutorials Telegram group platform, and you can just post your sample recordings over there, and the mentors over there, the tutors, will try to help you. Genuinely, they will try to help you. So that's the best you can do. All right, I hope I answered your question as well. Well, also one more thing is, in highlight incorrect words, a lot of disturbance is there in the background, and the audio can be very fast and it can be very unclear. So don't take that task lightly. I would highly recommend you all to practice it from PTE Tutorials. The application is good to practice highlight incorrect words. You can also practice it from the website ptetutorials.com, especially the reading blanks, the listening blanks and highlight incorrect words. Those are really good in the PTE Tutorials platform. If you can get a high score in these tasks on PTE Tutorials, in the real exam, you can expect a better score. Especially the fill in the blanks in the reading module, they are vocabulary based blanks, and the level of those blanks is pretty high. So try to solve those questions, and hopefully things will be pretty easy for you in the real exam. And again, I'm going to remind you all that today evening, very soon, we are going to come up live with the updated prediction file for the month of April 2019. So it's going to be live today, and just download it immediately. It's going to be a PDF document which will be very helpful in preparation for your next exam. And that's all I think in today's session. I was just going to talk about the trends in PT. So first thing is, in any task, don't have a very fixed number in your mind that you're going to get only these many questions or those many questions. It's not fixed. The questions do keep on changing. And similarly, in write from dictation, which is the last task in the listening module, you generally get 3, 4 or 5 questions. So if you get only 2 questions in write from dictation instead of 3, then again you should lodge, or at least try to lodge, a complaint that I got only 2 questions in write from dictation instead of 3. So I don't think that's normal, so I would like to lodge a complaint. So just keep that thing in your mind as well. And as I said, the tab button in the listening blanks does not work in my opinion. So just have a look at that as well. The Taj Sidhu has a question. Sir, please upload unlock prediction file. So Taj, it's always unlocked. It's never locked. It's a PDF document. You can just download it on your phone from the link which we post. So it's never locked. You can definitely download it on your phone as well. So you don't need to worry about that. Alright friends, so once again with that, I'd like to end today's session. And I hope it was a productive session for all of you. And just like I'm very happy that my students get 80, I'll be more happy if all of you get 80 as well very soon. Till then, I'll see you soon. And my name is Malcolm. I'm your PTE coach. Think PTE, think PTE Tutorials. Thank you.